Lefty read here. Financial incentive from the government to start practicing sustainable farming. We know that that humans like meat. Well, we can't cut down all the land to grow enough meat for everybody. So we're going to have to start using more plant-based diets to feed everybody in 30, 40, 50 years. If you want to grow food without using land, grow it hydroponically on water. This can be done, but the government needs to make subsidies, financial assistance, incentives for us to start growing on the ocean. Well, you say there's too much salt in the ocean for water. Well, figure out a above water filtration system that filters the salt out as it feeds the plants the fresh water. This can be done. However, trying to balance feeding everybody now and switching over shouldn't be that hard, but we think it's hard because of financial reasons, because of money. But money is an imaginary thing that we honestly do not need as humans if we went to a sharing community to where community shared with the other members of the community. If we want to grow food on land that does not require it being on the land that we walk on, grow food on top of buildings instead of just putting satellites and antennas and rock on top of building. You have school buildings. I'm pretty sure the students at this school could have a class period where they go out and tend to the garden that's on top of their school. We could do this on any building that has the area for a garden. That can be done. The Pentagon probably has enough square footage on top of their building to grow a garden. There are places on this planet that are always able to sustain a garden because of good weather and warm weather, and they could always have a garden on top of all these buildings. So how many square footage of buildings are on this planet that we could grow food on for the community? And when I say for the community, I mean we have to pay people to bring food from outside communities into our community. But if we were able in some communities to produce the amount of food that that community needs, the soybeans for a protein instead of the beef, there may be a day that humanity realizes they should have never been harvesting cattle and chicken and pig and turkey for food, because they may realize that we messed up and now we can't feed everybody properly because the land is destroyed from crops. The land is no longer able to produce the crops because we didn't take care of it. We still can't have the cattle, but the cattle can't be fed properly, so the cattle die off, the land dies off, and then war breaks out within communities for food and water. So I don't know. Maybe hemp has a food product in it. I don't know. I mean, I know it doesn't get you high when you use it. It's got such low THC content. I don't know right offhand if hemp can provide a nutrient diet, and you can actually make like food out of hemp. I don't know, but there's got to be other plants on this planet that we are not growing for food that we possibly can, or they're being grown in the wrong areas and they would thrive just as well in these other areas as well as the areas that they are currently being grown on. So the government needs to start worrying less about the financial reasonings of the economy that are helping the economy stay afloat right now, and they need to start giving incentive to farmers to find more sustainable practices. And I think a good way to do that would be on top of water. You got a lake. The Great Lakes would be a great place to probably grow food. Well, it's kind of cold there, maybe not. But even if you've got a lake that's, 2 miles wide in a warm area, like grow food on top of that. I mean, you've got your fish down there that would feed and fertilize the plants. And then you got the plants for that 2 miles. I don't know how much food that would produce for a year for that community. but it's got to be better than trying to outsource it from a different community and travel it down here in a CO2 car, you know. And you want to have rubber for your tires. Like, is there not another plant that can make rubber? I know I think we can recycle rubber. I'm not sure if we do or how that works. I haven't really researched it. But we need to start being able to recycle, reuse, and I don't even know the 3 R's of recycling anymore. Reuse, recycle. I'm sorry, I don't know the third one. I should have. I was a sustainability intern for my school 2 years ago. But we need to start looking more towards plant-based protein diets than cattle or meat, because we need to balance it, and we're not balancing it right now. People are having more meat in their diets than they are plants, and that's not good. If we can make the plants a higher diet-based eating source than the meat, then we will successfully have brought the ability to make sure humans cannot run out of food. And that's probably what we need to start doing. It's going to take not a lot of time. It's a matter of money and the fact that we don't want to switch our money sources over because we don't know how. I could figure this stuff out for you if you want to pay me. I mean, I'd have to do a little reading research, but it doesn't take long for me to read an article on one idea and then come up with like 4 or 5 outspurts ideas that show how this could be done. And I can't research every area of the planet that we are currently using, like all the subjects of college or high school. If I somehow was able to have my consciousness transferred into a robot, I could give you every idea you ever wanted about everything. It's just that I have probably about 30 more years left on this earth, so I would hope that there's somebody out there that can take my place or get on my wavelength of thinking before or shortly after I die and continue what I'm trying to relay to humanity. I think that's all I had to say for this. I like to stay on topic for each one of my videos, but please start giving incentive programs to farmers to start practicing more sustainable growing of plants. And somehow we need to figure out how to make a plant-based diet more prone in our homes than we do meat, because meat is eaten more than plants, and that's not going to weigh out very well for us in the future at all, healthily wise, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and community. Like, nothing's going to work out with this if we keep making meat. The plants are just going to slowly go down, and when the plants are down so far and the meat's up so high, the cows and the cattle and all them are not going to have enough plants to eat, and then we're in trouble because we can't feed the cattle other cattle or other whatever. I think you get my point. So please share, subscribe to my videos. I have a lot of ideas on what this planet is doing wrong. I probably have all the questions that will give you all the things you need to do. It has been told to me in school that Google has all the answers to life's questions. They just don't know the questions. The thing about me is I know all the questions. It's just hard to give the world the answers or the questions for everything on the planet that people are finding answers for. So until next time, have a good day.